GMGP, good morning, good people. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all decided to wake up with us. You're sick. You're sick in the head. There's a lot of fantasy football shows out there, but I promise y'all, they not like us. Brock Bowers, you looked a little quicker than fast. What does that even mean? Redraft, Dynasty, best ball, high stakes, we got you covered. And that's MVS and Justin Watson with some of the dopest tools designed to help you cancel out the noise and dominate your leagues. If there's a white wide receiver named Antoine, sign me up. Maybe it's cultural. I don't know. In season or off season, rain, sleet, hail, and snow, comma, semicolon, period, next sentence, to bring you the most actionable and entertaining content on YouTube. You don't go buy the dip on the Titanic.
Quarterback that you love, D-Bro. One of the best values in fantasy football.
Prop bets with my man JRich.
Is that
Yes! Let's go!
So wipe the crust out of your eye, get you a cup of coffee. It's time to wake y'all asses up. We're Ray
and Jay
in the morning.
My God.
How good is
Dude,
he? How good is he? GMGP. GM. Hit. I don't. Turn the music off, Jay. Turn the music off. JRich, man. I gotta bring you to the screen, dude. We have not talked about this. We sent a few text messages back and forth.
Not a good day.
The vibes, I've been saying it all week. The vibes in Dallas are not good. It is gloomy. It is cold outside today. It is raining. The sky is crying in Dallas, JRich. The sky is crying. Micah Parsons. Gone, JRich. Gone.
Good riddance, some may say.
Some may say good riddance. Micah Parsons is gone, man. I'm just reading the chat, JRich. Yeah, let's talk about it. What's it mean? All this stuff. I see people in the chat laughing. There's a lot of laughter in this chat. You've got this smirk on your face because I know you want to laugh.
No, I just want to ask you the question. Does it hurt more than Luka? Because you said it wouldn't hurt more than Luka, but now we're here. We're in it now. Does it hurt more than Luka?
Yeah, it's just it's shit, man. The game starts next week. There's a game 6 days from now, right? You know, you spend all off season, you get excited, you see JRich, the jersey back here. It's over. I didn't think we'd be replacing it this quick. It's not good. The vibes are not good. The vibes are not good. Micah Parsons traded.
Crazy trade, man.
Yeah, man.
Crazy trade. Insane.
Yeah, let's just talk through it, man. Parsons is gone. Breaking news: a blockbuster trade. Congratulations to him. He got his bag, right?
Yep.
4 years, $188 million, $136 guaranteed, the highest non-paid quarterback in NFL history. $47 million a year. He got his bag. He absolutely got his bag. The Dallas Cowboys got compensation in return. 2 first-round picks, 1 in 26, 1 in 27. And Kenny Clark.
Jerry wants that DT. Got to stop the run, right? Got to stop the run.
Listen, what are your thoughts? As an outsider, as a non-interested vested party, what are your thoughts on the deal, Jay?
I mean, Ray, I can't remember a trade this seismic in the NFL in some time. I'm sure the chat will have a trade in mind that they could think of where it's like, can't believe this player was traded, but it just doesn't happen. And I think I saw a stat, might have been Schefter who talked about it on his podcast or in a little clip or whatever. Micah Parsons made 4 straight Pro Bowls in his 4 straight seasons. He's the first player to not be playing on that same team maybe ever, but if it's not ever, it's like in a really long time in his 5th season.
Yeah.
So like that alone makes it unprecedented. Yeah, here it is, right? 29 first-round picks. He's the first one to go to 4 straight Pro Bowls and not play for that same team in his
fifth year. Yeah.
Like that alone tells you how rare, how historic, how just absolutely ridiculous the idea of even thinking about trading Micah Parsons seemed. But we've been talking about this since he put in the trade request, even before that with training camp, him holding out. The vibes were just not the same as they were with Dak and as they were with CeeDee and as we've seen with Burrow when he got his contract late, as we've seen with plenty of holdouts of star players. The vibes were just off. This didn't seem like the situation where Jerry's just going to pay up and it's all going to work out and everything that was said, everything that was discussed would be forgiven because the money was there. And I think in sports, we talk about this a lot. You know, even with Myles Garrett, Ray, Myles Garrett wanted out. And when he got his money, you said, you know what cures everything? It's money. But in the case of Micah Parsons, there clearly was a shattered relationship to some extent.
Yeah, man. I mean,
and it was more than just the money.
Yeah, and all this shit in the chat, it was a good trade for Dallas. Stop. No, it wasn't. You're not going to sell me that this was a good trade for Dallas. It wasn't. You know, the reason why they needed a damn interior defensive tackle is because they've been awful at drafting the D-line. You take Mozzie Smith out of Michigan, who fucking blows. You know, years ago, you take damn Taco Charlton out of Michigan. He's awful. They struck gold with Osa, thank goodness. But you're telling me that you had to go get Kenny Clark? Kenny Clark? And the sad part about it is this ain't Kenny Clark's fault. He's been a very good player in the NFL. Yeah. He's been a very good player. He's 30 years old, JRich. He's 30 years old, and I haven't seen one Packers fan say, "Man, I wish we had that Kenny Clark still." Not one. I spent all night, Jay, listening to different takes and different people and different analysts. I didn't say anything. I put on X, wow, that couldn't have been the best package out there for him. I'm listening to all this shit, right? And not one time did I see anybody from Green Bay say, man, I wish we still had those 2 late first-round picks. We're not talking about 2 top 10 picks. We're not talking about some top 5. We're not talking about the Carolina Panthers pick, Cleveland. We're talking about Green Bay, who prior to the trade, people thought were one of the better teams in the NFC. After the trade, they absolutely believe they're one of the best teams in not just the NFC, but the damn NFL. You tell me that the 30th pick, the 29th pick, you're not going to get a player at pick 29 in 2026 or 2027 better than Micah Parsons. You're not going to get a pick at the back of the first the next 2 years better than Micah Parsons. And then you wait until a week before, right? Like, how did this go so south? Earlier this year, you know, I don't need the... this is it. I really am just like, this is wild to me. Absolutely. Yeah. And it's not even like a big trade. I mean, it's literally like Luka. The Mavericks got damn Anthony Davis, right? An old ass player. He's good.
Good
right?
player, but old.
Great player, but he's old. Dallas got an old player, good player, but he's 30 years old in the interior. Like you're not talking about Aaron Donald. This isn't Ndamukong Suh, right? This isn't Dexter Lawrence. Kenny Clark, fine player. JRich, but come on, man. How is this? The money and, you know, they're in cap hell. You think the Packers give a shit about the cap? You think no. Do you think they give a damn about the cap right now?
Nope.
And we talked about this on Bleach Report. I said, if they trade him, there's no way Green Bay is going to be able to keep Rashawn Gary or Edgerrin Cooper or Quay Walker. Hell, give me Lucas Van Ness. Just throw me Van Ness. You got to take that Kenny Clark. Get the hell on. Take that Kenny Clark, take these 2 picks and go on about your day. And then they gave him his bag. $47 million a year, man. The highest non-paid quarterback per year. It's Micah Parsons. It's TJ Watt. It's Jamar Chase. It's Myles Garrett. And it's Danielle Hunter. Best pressure rate in the NFL since 2021. Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons. I don't know. And I got a lot of people, JRich, tell me, Ray, you choose to root for this team, just switch to. I was born into it. I didn't like Jerry Jones. I didn't start liking the Cowboys because of Jerry Jones. Hey, man. You're not going to sell me this was a good trade. I don't give a damn about those late first in 26 and 27. I don't care. You get rid of this guy 6 days before you got to take on the world. You know, if I'm Saquon Barkley, fire him up. Start them all. Will Shipley might get burned. You're not going to spin this that this was good. Like, there's no spin for me, JRich. Yeah, dude. I sat there. I was talking to wife is looking at me. I was like, they really traded him. I just sat there on the couch like, man, it's all over the news. I'm right here. I'm local. They interrupted Celebrity Family Feud, JRich. Literally the news people, the meteorologist was it's a goddamn tornado coming, JRich. It is bad, inclement weather in doubt. Breaking news. Dallas Cowboys just traded Micah Parsons. I mean, the whole newsroom in shock.
Yeah.
The vibes today, I'm looking out. The vibes are bad, JRich. The vibes are not good, man.
Yeah, this is honestly just, it's so bad because it's one of those trades that in some ways you kind of not saw coming, but with them waiting to pay Dak, waiting to pay CeeDee, like they're constantly, I don't want to say overpaying. They definitely overpaid for Dak. That contract is just really one of the reasons why it was hard to sign Micah in the first place without really being hamstring for the cap. But even still, like, how do you, and it's so similar to Luke in the sense of like, how do you sell to the fan base that this is good for the team? Yeah, you had your reasons for getting rid of the player. He was clearly disgruntled. He wasn't happy with his situation. He wanted to be paid, right? But even with that, the return that you got is just not enough. It's not enough to get 2 first-round picks that are going to be late, to get a defensive tackle, which, when we saw the press conference, was a priority for Jerry Jones. The priority is not young talent. The priority is not getting better in a multitude of ways by trading Micah Parsons. It's specifically targeting teams that are willing to give up a defensive tackle so you can stop the run. Are you just playing for week 1, Jerry Jones? Are you not trying to build a competent roster of talented players? Like, I understand that you may feel like you need a DT, but there has to be better packages out there than this. Like, the 2 first-round picks was a given. You're not trading Micah Parsons for anything less than 2 first-round picks, and the argument probably should be closer to 3 first-round picks. And I think if you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, and I'll ask you this, Ray, is Kenny Clark and 2 first-round picks better than just 3 straight first-round picks, 26, 27, 28?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, and he does make the run defense better. He does. He does improve the run defense because there is no, we talked about there was no interior to go. What makes this so bad as well, Jay, is who they traded him to. It wasn't like Micah he was under contract. Like, they could have just said, dude, you're not going anywhere. And then I'm going to tag you, right? I'm going to control this situation. Over the last 10 years, it is without debate the best Dallas Cowboy teams over the last 10 years, JRich, was the 2014 team, the 2016 team, and the 2023 squad. Then was the best 3 squads. The 2014 team, that was DeMarco Murray, Dez Bryant. He should have caught it, controversy in the end zone. They lose to Green Bay. 2016, rookie year Dak Prescott, rookie year Zeke Elliott. Cowboys running through the league, literally. Goddamn 4th and 50. JRich, Aaron Rodgers throws a corner out to Jared Cook. Cook, first down. It's 4th and 75. They convert to Jared Cook in 2016 season over. And then 2023, Aaron Jones ran ramshot over the Dallas Cowboys, 3 rushing touchdowns from Aaron Jones. Jordan Love had 3 passing touchdowns. He didn't throw for a bunch of yards, but he threw 3. Romeo Doubs went for $150, right? Dallas loses in a shootout to Green Bay in the wild card. Them were the 3 best chances Dallas has had over the last 10 years. Lost to Green Bay, lost to Green Bay. And you know what happened on August 28th, 2025?
Lost to Green Bay.
They
again.
lost to goddamn Green Bay again. Send them to LA. At least I can be a little bit happy, right? Oh man, LA, right?
Yeah.
Send them to Cincinnati. Send them anywhere. Don't send them to Green Bay. This has been this team's Achilles heel every time they've had a good squad in the playoffs, and you trade them to Green Bay. Now you got damn Parsons and McKinney and Evan Williams and Edgerrin Cooper
Gary.
and Rashawn Gary and the court Lucas Van Ness. Watch him just turn it around. Watch somehow Lucas Van Ness becomes good, right? Offensively, you got one of the best right tackles in the NFL. You've got depth galore on the O-line. You got one of the best running backs in the league. Your turn, Jordan Love. Your turn. Dallas, the vibes are not good. I just, and I see people trying to explain this away. JRich, well, you know, Mike is not that good against the run. And, you know, in his 4 playoff games, he's got no sacks. And
They still need him, though.
so
Right?
now somehow in the course of 12 hours, Micah Parsons has become a bum. He's become replaceable. He's worth 2 late first-round picks. Not that big a deal because he doesn't stop the run.
Yeah. 12 sacks a season, Ray. That's easy. Just go draft anybody for that. No problem. It's just crazy, man.
Yeah,
crazy.
it's
But
just,
it is wild that they don't take the stance that a lot of like baseball teams will take, and even some NFL teams to some extent. Like they don't want to trade a star player within conference because they don't want to see that player very often. If they do, like the fact that he even got traded in the NFC at all is kind of crazy. There must have been plenty of AFC teams calling for Micah Parsons' services. I wouldn't be surprised if just damn near every single team called for his services to see what the package could be and what the cost would be. But I think the other question, Ray, and I don't know if you've seen this yet, is did you see that this deal's apparently been done for 3 days?
I didn't see that.
So Tom Pelissero this morning came up, I think he was on Good Morning Football, and he was talking about how apparently this trade's been done for the past 3 days between the teams.
Of course it has.
And so while we're waiting, and of course the rumor probably started about roughly 4 or 5 days ago, maybe 3 days ago almost at this point. And it was really just negotiating that contract extension for Micah that had held up the official announcement of the trade. But the actual trade package team to team had already been finalized apparently 3 days prior to this happening.
Why
So
did they
it's
trade him
like-
to Green Bay? What?
Makes no sense. It makes no sense.
And yeah,
Makes no
listen,
sense.
I misspoke. I said a shootout. I meant a goddamn blowout, right? Blowout in 23. Romeo Dobbs had a buck
That game was not
50.
close.
So now we're here, right?
Yep.
Green Bay's defense drastically improved. I'm not here. I want to be like just. I didn't think it would happen. We were on Bleacher Report yesterday, and I'm just this will not. If it happens, we're getting.
They'll get this and they'll get that.
Oh, well, literally, I mean the Bleacher Report comments. I'm not even gonna go check the post because if it happens, we're getting Garrett. There's no doubt. Edgerrin Cooper's coming home. He played at Texas A&M. He's coming back. Hell no, Kenny Clark.
Unreal.
And it's unfair.
Absolutely unreal.
It ain't Kenny. He's going to be awesome. Kenny Clark is probably going to be very good in the interior.
It's the same
of
as
that
Anthony
defensive line.
Davis, right?
Right. He's probably going to be really good there, right?
Yeah. But will it stop Saquon from running for 150 week 1 in 6 days? We'll see. Packers defense is going to be unreal this year. 4th in turnovers, 6th in scoring last season, 6th in yards. Ray, they were top 3 in DVOA behind Baltimore and Detroit last season without Micah Parsons. I mean, maybe their run defense will struggle a little bit, but
Oh yeah,
I'm not too worried about that. It's their pass rush. That's what
and it's all the people who don't give a shit about these teams, right? Well, Green Bay is going to be significantly like the interior. They're not. I haven't seen one Packers fan say I'd rather have Kenny Clark. People telling me, Ray, would you really want them to pay Micah that? Yes, pay him. Isn't more money coming in the next couple of years? What are we talking about? Pay him.
Yep.
From Dallas' standpoint, Jay, is there any fantasy football takeaway?
I mean, Ray, let's be real. It's probably just start every single offensive player you can against this Cowboys defense. Because when Micah Parsons is on the field, they have one of the best defenses in the NFL. And when he's not, they have one of the worst. Right? And so now you have a situation where maybe their run D is a little bit improved with Kenny Clark, but is it going to help their pass defense? Maybe slightly. Are you still not going to be able to run on them? I doubt it. Right? This defense is still going to be really bad this year. And even with that, like that's what's going to happen. The real question, honestly, is does this make them so bad that it actually hurts the offense? Like, is that even possible? Because last year they were pretty close to that. And this year they might actually be that. And I don't know if that's possible. Maybe it's just like garbage time Dak forever. And that's just what everyone's kind of hoping for. But this defense is terrible. You could start a team's wide receiver 3 against this defense. They'll probably all have good games. This is going to be brutal. It's going to be terrible to watch.
I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if they've got a bottom 3 defense. I mean,
can they be worse than Carolina's defense last year?
No, they're not going to be worse than. No, man.
Can they be worse than Cincinnati's defense last year?
No. You still
they can be worse than Cincinnati's defense.
Man.
Last year.
You still have Overshown at linebacker. Ezeraku, the rookie from Boston College. You're hoping he takes a step forward.
Right? Eberflus?
Got Eberflus. We got Osa, Diggs, Bland, Hooker. I mean, it won't be that bad. It'll be worse. It'll be worse, no doubt. It'll be worse, no doubt. But
do you think they'll struggle to generate pressure to where like QB's receivers could have very good games against them simply because they can't generate the pressure that they need to force a quarterback off a spot? Because that's really what Micah did for that defense.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be that bad. I don't think there'll be. I don't think it'll be better. I don't think it's a bottom 5 defense. No, I don't think it's a bottom 5 defense. Yeah, this is yeah. The vibes aren't good. And Obershon is out to November. I know, Ricardo. I'm coping. I'm just. I don't think it's gonna. This is not good for the defense, JRich. So we'll see. A lot of people are saying this is good for Dak Prescott. It's good for George Pickens. It's good for CeeDee Lamb. I already thought that the offense was already going to be them. Already. Like, it was already going to be those guys. Like, straight up, it was already going to be those guys. Green Bay side of the ball, I definitely think that, first of all, what number is he going to wear? Because Jayden Reed is number 11, so I'm curious to see. And my thing is, I'm not mad at Micah, dude. I'm legit. I'm not pissed at Micah. Micah wanted to get paid. Go get paid what you're worth, man. I don't want to freaking negotiate with you, Jerry Jones. Like, that's not how it works, man. Like, that's just not how it works. Like, you're going to talk to my agent. JRich, we've got people that help us out when we were doing all that stuff with Mojo and Underdog. Like, there's other people handling that conversation, so I don't have to have it, right? So we don't have to talk about what we're going to.
So we're protected.
So you're a freaking fool if you walk into a business negotiation in life without representation, man. Like, for real. Because it is a negotiation. And if you don't have that, you're a fool. So I'm not mad at Micah. I got no love lost, like no love lost for Micah Parsons, man. Still one of my favorite players in the NFL. Crazy talented. We get to work with him at Bleacher Report. So it's like no hard feelings against Micah Parsons at all. It's a business. The Dallas Cowboys made the move. I personally would have paid him. I would have sucked up the pride.
Figured out what happened down the road. Yeah.
Figure it out down the road, man. So without Micah Parsons, they got Philadelphia week 1. And I would be very enthusiastically starting all those guys as you would have before the trade happened, man. Green Bay side of the ball, Josh Jacobs, if this defense is more opportunistic, if it is more opportunistic, if they can create turnovers, if they can push offenses back and increase their starting field position, then this should be good for Josh Jacobs. It should be good for Jordan Love. You've got one of the top play callers in Matt LaFleur. A lot of pressure on Jordan Love this year. This is an all-in move because now they're down 2 first-round picks, one of them being Micah. I would say they traded one of those first. One of those picks would have been, one of them being Micah Parsons. But the pressure's on Jordan Love now. Like, the pressure's on Jordan Love, right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, it's all on Jordan Love at this point, especially coming off the 2023 season that he had where he was great. And we all thought, oh, man, Green Bay really struck gold with this quarterback. They waited on him, developed him, unleashed him. He was dynamite. And we have to find out if last year was a product of injury, because he did suffer from some injuries early in the year, struggled at times, a bit up and down with Jordan Love. And now, with an improved defense with Micah Parsons, some added weapons, now we'll see. Ray, feel free to comment your thoughts on Jayden Reed, because as you did bring up Jayden Reed is dealing with a Jones fracture in his foot, has missed the majority of camp, but is hopeful to be available before week 1. If you are drafting and haven't drafted yet, probably wouldn't draft Jayden Reed as much as he wants to be the wide receiver 1. A Jones fracture and the drafting of Matthew Golden in the first round, probably not good for his prospects in fantasy this season. But for Jordan Love, it's great. They drafted a receiver in the first round. They have a great running back in Josh Jacobs. I wish they had a bit more behind Jacobs, but Marshawn Lloyd, I believe, has already been put on PUP, so he's going to miss the first 4 weeks. And then, of course, we know all the other weapons they have. Romeo Doubs, Jayden Reed when available, Christian Watson when available, and all the other players who can contribute from the wide receiver position, the great 2 tight ends in Musgrave and Tucker Kraft. It's just whether or not we get the Jordan Love from 23. And if we do, Ray, this team's going to the NFC Championship game. Like, they're going to the NFC Championship game. If you get 2023 Jordan Love, they're going to the NFC Championship game. Like 100%. Because this defense is so much better. I think having Micah Parsons really helps out a team that struggled with their defensive backs last year. The safeties are great. The corners did struggle, and part of the reason why was because they struggled to generate pressure off the edge, and Micah obviously will help that tremendously for this team. 3rd in pass rush win rate just last year, and as you mentioned, one of the best since being drafted. But the pressure really is on Jordan Love. And can he deliver? Because no one's going to blame Micah Parsons if he doesn't. Jordan Love will be the reason why they win or lose games every week and why they do or don't reach the highs they should now that they're all in. But where do you stand on this Packers team?
People are saying, like, it's not that big a deal. He's not. How many players right now? I'm listening to, so there's a new show, Gilbert Arenas. They're doing football stuff now. So I wanted to see Aqib Talib and Gruden and Bayless. I'm listening to these guys talk last night, and they were doing like a would you rather Micah Parsons. Damn, Jay Gruden, former coach of the Commanders, right? Isn't that where Jay Gruden was at? He said he'd take Jonathan Grenard right now over Micah Parsons. They went through how many defensive players in the NFL could you realistically say you would take over Micah Parsons right now, JRich? Would you rather Micah Parsons or Myles Garrett?
I will take Myles Garrett.
I would probably take Myles Garrett as well. I see people, Max Crosby. Micah Parsons or Max Crosby?
I do think Max Crosby, for the complete player that he is probably better than Micah Parsons. But in the NFL, you pay for pressure and sacks, and that's why Micah Parsons is so highly paid. But I will take Crosby.
Micah Parsons or Nick Bosa right now? Right now. I'm taking Parsons over Bosa.
Are we getting
Micah
like
Parsons.
the good Nick Bosa?
Right now.
I'm taking Micah Parsons.
Right now.
Yeah.
Not 5 fucking years ago. Right now. Nick Bosa or Micah Parsons?
I would take Micah Parsons.
Parsons, who else? Parsons or TJ Watt? Right now.
I would
Parsons
take
or TJ Watt?
I think TJ Watt's a little bit overrated, but he's, again, a much more complete defensive end than Micah Parsons. So I understand why, from like a football standpoint, you would prefer TJ Watt over Micah Parsons.
Chat said Crosby.
And Hutchinson, too, is the other one I would take over Micah Parsons.
You would take Aiden Hutchinson over Micah Parsons.
Hutchinson's a better defensive end than Micah Parsons is. He is.
I'm not. The chat saying Watt easily over Parsons. Watt over Parsons.
The real question is like Will Anderson or Micah Parsons. Because Will Anderson is fucking good. Like, he's going to probably overtake what Micah got in his deal if he can.
I'm taking Micah Parsons over Will Anderson. Would you take Patrick Surtain over PS2?
I would take Patrick Surtain over him.
You take Surtain over Parsons.
And honestly, one of the main reasons why is because it seems like now cornerbacks are kind of underpaid. Like, when you hear Jamar Chase talking about how good Patrick Surtain is and how hard it is to get receptions and yards and get away from him, like, why aren't these guys being paid closer to what defensive ends are paid? He's making what, $100 million guaranteed, and Micah Parsons just got 136.
There's no way there's no way I'm taking Aiden Hutchinson over Micah Parsons. There's no way. Okay. I'm not taking Aiden Hutchinson over Micah Parsons. Patrick Surtain, I would take him over Micah. PS2, I would take him over Micah.
Would you consider Sauce? Sauce is a no for me. But I was going to say, how do you feel about Stingley, though? Micah. Stingley's another guy I think you could make the case for. I'd probably have Stingley over
Micah.
Sauce.
I'm taking, I thought you were saying versus Micah. This is because
like the only other names really are
Jared Verse,
who is too young, but after this season you may consider it, but right now I think it's a little too young. And then Jalen Carter is very interesting.
Jalen Carter,
like even though he's an interior player, he's so good. He's so good.
Jalen Carter's very good. Jalen Carter's very good. I
couldn't hate you if you take Jalen Carter over Micah Parsons.
Jeff said Roquan Smith over Micah. I'm not taking Roquan over Micah Parsons. No way. No way.
And then, Ray, what about the recently highest paid safety in the NFL?
Kyle
Hamilton.
Parsons.
The Joker.
Parsons.
On defense.
James said Carter over Parsons, no question. Abdul Carter or Micah Parsons? Parsons.
They're the same player, man.
They're not the same. They're not the same player. They're not the same player.
We'll find out.
Listen, Moggs, I love you. We give you a show 3 days a week, every freaking week. I want to talk. If you don't want to hear about Micah, turn it off. Just turn it off. We're going to talk about some. We're here 90 damn minutes. I'm talking Parsons right now. Who else, JRich?
I think for me, that's basically the list. Like I'm looking at Defensive Player of the Year, Quinyon Mitchell, Christian Gonzalez, Leonard Williams, Nick Bonito, Trey Hendrickson.
No.
Right? No. Like it's Hutch, Garrett, Watt, Crosby, Anderson, Bosa.
You're taking Max Crosby over Micah.
I would take Max Crosby over Micah, yeah. It's probably a little bit shorter sighted in terms of like the longevity factor because Crosby's a little bit older, but he is a very, very good player and a little bit underrated just because he plays on the Raiders.
How am I overrating Micah when I've got him over Hutchinson, who snapped his leg in two? I would take him over year 3 Will Anderson. I would take him over Jalen Carter. How is that too high? I'd said I would take Myles Garrett over him. Yeah. Myles Garrett. I would take Patrick Surtain. I like Surtain. I've got no problem with that. But this
TJ Watt too.
I didn't say no TJ Watt. I'm not taking TJ Watt over Micah Parsons. No. I'm not taking 31-year-old TJ Watt over Micah Parsons. I'm not taking Roquan Smith over Micah Parsons. No. Montez Sweat, stop it. Come on, man.
What about Danielle Hunter?
Micah Parsons.
Hunter's very good.
We wake up. We wake up and now he's just chopped liver. He's just not that big a deal.
But that's what happens, Ray. You leave the Dallas Cowboys. That Dallas Cowboys PR turns on you all of a sudden. The bad stories start coming out, right? Well, look at what happened to Luka. The moment he got traded, he's not in shape. He's drinking beer all the time. He's not doing what he's supposed to do. He's a pain in the ass. He doesn't listen. That's what you're going to hear about Micah.
All right, let's more Dallas news stuff.
More Dallas news stuff.
Well, Rashee Rice in his issue. We didn't get to talk about this. What's going on with Rice, JRich?
So it was officially announced that Rashee Rice is going to accept a 6-game suspension to start the 2025 NFL season. So for everyone who was worried about Rashee Rice pending suspension at the beginning of the season because the hearing was scheduled for, I believe, after week 4 in the season, that is no more. The Kansas City Chiefs have accepted, and Rashee Rice have accepted the 6-game suspension. So he will miss the Charger game, Philly, New York, Baltimore, Jacksonville, and Detroit, and he should be back available and return October 19th against the Las Vegas Raiders. So 3, arguably 4 pretty big games he's missing. The Chargers in Brazil, Philly at home, Baltimore at home, and Detroit at home. How the hell did they get all those games at home? But how does it make you feel, Ray, about 1, Rashee Rice, and number 2, about Xavier Worthy?
You gotta, at least you're not gonna miss Rice in the middle of the season. So I think it just makes it a lot clearer about what you want to do. If you're just like, I'm good, I don't want to miss, I don't want to have a 0 for 7 weeks, 7 of the first 10 weeks of the fantasy season, I'll just pass, right? It makes it a lot easier for you to make a decision. Or if he's falling late enough in whatever specific draft that you're in and you're like, you know what? I've got Jamar Chase. I grabbed Jackson Smith and Jigba. My receivers are good at the top. I can withstand some weeks. And I've got the conviction that once he's back, he's going to be the guy. I think it makes it easier if you want to buy him for this season. Yeah. I'm talking 2025 or avoid from a draft perspective. Dynasty, nothing changes. I don't think anything changes. If anything, you're
happy he got 6 games instead of 10 games, right?
Maybe there's an opportunity to buy low from a manager who needs the points and he's not going to be there. So I think all things considered, I thought he would get 8 games. He got 6. I believed it would be more than Addison. It'd be more than 4. He got 6 games, not going to fight it. That's what he's going to take. Now you've got Xavier Worthy for the first 6 weeks of the season. I think they continue right where he was at the end of last season. Go look at how he was used, how he was prioritized from week 10 to week 22. I mean, it was just, they don't get to the Super Bowl without Xavier Worthy. In that AFC Championship game, I mean, he made shit happen. He was a focal point of the offense. You're going to have a healthy and newly engaged Travis Kelce. He looks like he's going to be young and spry and happy out there. I think it just makes everything clear. He's going to be out for a little bit. Roster construct around it. This is much better than him missing 6 games. Like, think if he would play the first 4 and then got hit with the 6-game suspension, that'd be very bad. So yeah, I think it's the best case outcome for Rice.
Well, and let's not forget, this is a guy who's coming off a pretty big injury as well. And so he was a potential PUP candidate early in the offseason. We kind of figured out that he should be ready even earlier than that. But now this actually gives him the time to ramp up properly. So when he hits the field week 7, he's actually good to go. And in theory, much closer to 100% than he would have been if he played in week 1 for a few weeks. Then he got suspended, sat down for 8 weeks or whatever it was he ended up getting. And as you mentioned, it's much better because you have him for the playoffs guaranteed now. That was one of the biggest concerns, was whether you'd even have him for the playoffs because you didn't know when he'd be suspended and for how long. Now it's guaranteed. You can adjust, make a decision. Do you want him? Do you not, based off the cost and kind of where he's going in drafts? And if you can withstand it or you go very wide receiver heavy early, I think he's worth the risk. I think he's going to be great down the stretch. Kansas City's schedule really opens up in the second half. But if you don't think he's worth the risk and he goes too high, then take somebody else. Because, again, he is missing 6 games. And if you don't think you can withstand it or your build doesn't make sense, then just leave him. It's pretty easy.
I really do like Kelce. I see Adam saying Kelce top 3 tight end for the first half of the year for redraft. Then I'll likely trade by week 8. I'm very much in on Travis Kelce this year. A lot of another hidden benefit to Rice being suspended early. He gets 6 more weeks to rest up that knee, right? 6 more weeks to make sure that knee is ramped back up. As we're hearing about other players coming off a PUP, not being able to play early. I think all things considered for Rashee Rice, best possible outcome for him. And I do like Travis Kelce and Xavier Worthy to start the season. The running back Pacheco's back healthy, so probably do a strong dose of rushing as well. Yeah, I think this is best case scenario for Rashee Rice. So I got no problem with taking him in the right spots this year, but I'm very excited for Xavier Worthy. I've been in on Worthy all offseason. I'm telling people trust the Trinity. I'm in, so excited for Worthy's opportunity, and we'll see. The best scenario for Kansas City, maybe not for fantasy, but the best scenario for Kansas City is for Worthy to step up and operate like that one, and for them to have a one problem when they come back. For Rashee Rice to go into an offense that's been sort of established with what Worthy's going to do, you bring Rice back in to do his thing, that would be the best possible outcome for the Kansas City Chiefs organization. Not saying from a fantasy perspective, but I'm fine with this, JRich. Chris Godwin. What's the news on Chris Godwin, Jay?
So Tampa Bay Buccaneers GM Jason Light, he said that there's a world where Chris Godwin isn't available until week 5, right? So for everyone who remembers, probably about 2 weeks ago, there's reports that there's a chance Chris Godwin was going to end up on the PUP. And then we found out he wasn't placed on the PUP. So we're like, oh, that's great. He can be back before the guaranteed week 4. But we also heard that he's not going to start practicing probably until week 2. And that's when his ramp-up period is going to start. But at least we were encouraged that maybe there's a world he's back for week 4. And then Bucs GM Jason Light basically says he's not expected to be back until week 5 anyways. So even though he's on the active roster and not on the PUP and not guaranteed to miss the 4 games, I would be planning and projecting for him to miss at least those first 4 games. And honestly, Ray, the sad part is the way that they say it, he's not expected back until week 5 or later, doesn't give me a lot of confidence he's going to be back for week 5. So if you're the one drafting Emeka Egbuka higher than ADP to make sure you get him, in the top 20, in the top 25, wherever he's going right now, he may be even more of a value because we just simply don't know when Chris Godwin's going to be back. And if he does take longer than expected, week 6, week 7, that's a big difference for Emeka Egbuka to, again, help establish himself in this offense and be that 1 or 2 for Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, my philosophy this year, honestly, I just don't want him. I don't want Chris Godwin. I don't want damn Brandon Ayuk. I just, these guys coming off of these type of injuries at where they're being priced. I just dropped an article today on Yahoo in 10-team leagues. Godwin's still like a 9th, 10th round pick. I'm just going in a different direction. I'm just going in a different direction. People think we're crazy for being all in Emeka Egbuka. Like, there's no Godwin. Cade Otton is apparently banged up right now. I'm good on Chris Godwin, Jay. Like, he's an awesome player. They paid him when he's healthy and balling out. He's good, but he's not. So we still got to talk through Jalen Coker. We got to get to some college football stuff, but run the likes up. Run the likes up. We're going to go to a quick break. Hit the freaking thumbs up button. Like the content since Micah's so overrated, and we'll be back after the break. Let's get it. This is Wake Up with Ray and Jay every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right here on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up button, like the stream, subscribe to the channel. Check out all the content, man. JRich, I dropped my top 10 wide receivers in the 2026 class yesterday. Dropped it yesterday. You see Jordan Tyson, Antonio Williams, Nick Harbor, Jacoby Lane, Carnell Tate. Dropped that. We got to see one of my top 10 guys play last week in week 0, Jace Brown out of Kansas State. Jay, but then also top 8 running backs. And you see the guy on the right there, the far right in the Minnesota jersey. That's Darius Taylor. JRich in Minnesota did play last night. Just want to update you because we're going to be talking through this. Darius Taylor, 30 carries, 140-something yards, 4 catches, another 30 yards on the ground, smashed. Looked awesome from Minnesota. So the prospective young rookies in this 2026 class already showing out early. We had some good Darius Taylor from Minnesota versus Buffalo last night, so we're off to a hot start with some of those prospects. Big games this weekend. We'll talk about it towards the end of the show, but there's still Some more NFL news that kind of broke yesterday, and we knew, or at least we had a strong suspicion, that Adam Thielen was probably going to get traded, and it finally happened. They worked it out. I think Carolina made out very well. Didn't they get a 4th-round pick back for damn Adam Thielen? You want to talk about good trades? That's a good trade. You trade old Adam Thielen and you get a 4th-round pick back. Like, that's a good deal right there for the Carolina Panthers. We've been talking about this. I think this is, let's see what we got in Bryce Young. We drafted him number 1 overall in 2023. With Adam Thielen there, he's probably too good still at earning targets that it would just take away from the youth movement. I want to see Liette, I want to see Coker, and we want to see T-Mac. We want to see Bryce Young operate with those 3 pass catchers. Jimmy Horn, I believe he made the 53, so hey, deep best ball leagues, Jimmy Horn might have some opportunity. You got Jatavion Sanders at tight end. It's the youth movement in Carolina with the pass catchers. Jalen Coker confirmed going to play in the slot for Dave Canales this year.
Okay. Nice.
You know what that means? They're going to park Liette on the outside. You just stay out there, and when you get your chances, you get your chances. But this offense is going to flow through McMillan. It's going to flow through Jalen Coker. They're going to run the ball with Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle. You've got JT Sanders. Talk about Jalen Coker and this young play. We'll get to McMillan in a second, but Coker's opportunity in this offense now.
I mean, it's going to be great, right? We knew that McMillan was going to see a ton of targets.
Yes.
But the question was, who's going to be that next guy? And I think for a lot of people, they liked Coker. He looked great in preseason once again. He looked good at the second half of the season last year. He really came on strong. But Liette was still the guy who was drafted in the 1st round. And it was, are they really going to bench Liette after, again, an up and down rookie season and Coker looking really good? And trading Thielen frees this up. It completely frees up the situation to where there may be games where they want to go to Liette more because it makes more sense to target the CB2 who's outside versus in the slot. And you still have Coker in the slot. And I'm excited to see how he plays there because this is a role that's been great in this offense, whether it was Dave Canales when he was in Tampa Bay, whether it was this past season with Adam Thielen. It's a role that we've seen a lot of success from, whether it's for real life or fantasy football purposes. And so I'm excited to see how it all plays out for Coker because I think we've all been excited about what we've seen. And can he put it all together to not just be a surprise, but really be like a good, competent receiver that can have 800-900 yards in this offense to help alleviate some of the pressure off McMillan and give Bryce Young a second option on this team, because while it was a lot of Thielen last year and a bit of Coker, it's going to be a lot of McMillan and hopefully some Jalen Coker as well as kind of that second option for the Carolina Panthers. And I think if he plays well, this team could be much better offensively than they were, even though they lost Adam Thielen.
I agree. Listen, like the trade opens up. McMillan is going to see his. Like T-Mac is going to be peppered and fed targets in this offense with Bryce Young, but there's absolutely like this is great. Even if you didn't like Jalen Coker's prospect profile coming out of where'd he come from? Holy Cross. Yeah, even if you didn't like that, for me, the way that I approach the game of football is opportunity, dude. Like when talent meets opportunity, like that's all you could really ask for. We cannot make the players play better. We cannot force the team to throw the ball. But when you see a usage trend, when you see a usage pattern, and the peripheral metrics show, hey, there's something here. Just think about how good he must be for him to be a damn UDFA out of Holy Cross, get opportunity in the National Football League, and do well enough for the team to say, you know what? Like we can withstand trading Thielen. You are not going to be our one, right? That's why we spent the 8th overall pick on Tedero and McMillan. You're probably not going to be our one, but we feel confident enough to man this number 2 option, to man this number 2 slot. That right there, I don't give a shit what that right there alone is enough for me to say, you know what? Regardless of what I thought I'm in, it's opportunity. He does have talent. You can see the usage. If you go to DD Fantasy Football, look at his usage trends. And I know he missed some time, but his highs were higher or right there with Xavier Liette, and he was making higher lows as far as a usage standpoint towards the back half of the season. And this is a big vote of confidence in this pass catcher. And for them to come out and say this right away about him,
Yeah.
And you got to feel good about it. Is he going to be damn wide receiver 5 in fantasy football? No, that's not going to happen. That's not within his range. But good for Jalen Coker if you have him. Good for your Coker shares, no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. But Ray, so then what does this make you feel about Bryce Young? Because we think he can be better this year. We obviously know he was very strong in the second half. What is your outlook for Bryce Young? And what do you think would be a successful season for him this year? Because in my head, it's somewhere in the realm of like 3,700 yards and probably 26, 27 touchdowns, I think is more than fair. I don't think he can push for 4,000, but maybe if he's really, really good, he can.
I don't know.
I think he'd rather supplement that yardage with like 200 to 300 on the ground than throw for that extra 200 to 300 because he's going to need to make some plays with his legs. And we saw that in the back half of the year. But I think something like that would be good. And then the question really is like, can this team go out there and win 7 or 8 games this season, which feels like a bold prediction for the Carolina Panthers.
I don't like to highlight other receiving tools because Trinity is what we use. But what Joe's talking about, the ESPN receiving score, it's all GPS stuff if you don't know. And I'm very big on tracking data. I love shit like this because it just, when you layer this on top of the actual usage and you're like, man, this guy was Xavier Legette, 134 out of 158 qualified candidates. And then you're like, okay, well, even if you don't know what that means, which if you're 134 out of 158, common damn sense should be like probably not good. But even if you're like, well, what does that translate to from a fantasy perspective? Just go look at the usage, follow the dots and be like, oh, I see why Coker was being used more and look at what it's yielding from a fantasy perspective. That's how you kind of layer. Matt Harmon and I do it with his reception, perception, and Trinity. Like we talk about those two things layered on top of one another, right? His sample size of separation data and route win rate on top of just strictly target share, first downs, yak, all of that stuff that composes those Trinity dots. So yeah. Legette's probably not very good.
When they both line up, it's a good thing.
Yeah, when they both line up.
When they both don't line up, like when they both look bad, it's probably
a bad thing. It's probably a bad thing. Hell yeah. Any other big NFL news, JRich, before we pivot to college a little bit? Because I do want to talk about some big games and some big prospects that we get to see this weekend. Was there any additional NFL news that we missed, big time stuff?
Not that I can see, no. I mean, Mike has been dominating the headlines since yesterday, so there really hasn't been anything.
I didn't answer your Bryce question, did I? I didn't answer your question on Bryce.
Not really, no. But
well, I like Bryce Young. I've been a pro Bryce Young fan. I think he can be. I still don't know if the weapons are really there for him to be. Let me just say I don't want to say an elite. I don't want to say an elite fantasy quarterback, but like a one that you feel good about starting every single week. I even with as much as I like
Mick, team, man.
It's a young team, man. It's a young team. I think for Bryce, you just want to see another step forward. Like I still think they're another year away, a few more pieces away. Is JT Sanders going to be that tight end that's going to help move the offense? Is Coker and Legette, are they good enough number twos? I still think they're a little bit away, and the defense is bad. But just a step forward, Jay. I don't know what that means. I want to see him build upon what we saw his last 9 games of the NFL season. We saw him be a top 10 quarterback a few times during that stretch. I just want to see progression with Bryce. Excited, but I don't want to get out of it's still damn Carolina we're talking about. It's still the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, as a team, they only threw for 3,200 yards last season. So to see Bryce take a step forward beyond that would be a big one. But as you mentioned, the Carolina Panthers, their oldest starting playmaker is Chuba Hubbard, who's 26 years old. First year McMillan, second year Legette, second year Coker, and I think Sanders is also second year, or is he third year at this stage? The offensive line is much older and much better, but it's a very, very young team. And for a quarterback like Bryce Young, who has had his own ups and downs in the NFL, you hope that he can be the leader we saw at Alabama to help rally this young team together, because they will have some growing pains, but I think the core seems good, and if they can all take a step forward together, they could be a pretty good offense as a whole.
I think 97 Hove, H-O-V, I don't know if it's Hove or H-O-V, I'm going to call you Hove, 97 Hove, said Bryce is at 3,200. Those might be his passing yard projections.
I think it's the over-under, yeah.
Over-under, 3,200? What would you say?
I think it's too close to call it. I want to say the over, but I think the problem for me with Bryce Young is like there's always that, well, could he miss a game or get hurt or something? I don't think he's going to get benched, but there is some concerns a little bit. But he was good in the second half, he was good. I think if he plays second half Bryce the whole season, he's going past that. But I don't think I'm going to have him for more than probably 34, 35 if he played the whole season.
All right. Any other NFL news we got to touch on, JRich? Any breaking news? Anybody else getting moved?
Not that I've seen yet. No, not that
Jerry
I've seen.
Jones said this trade was to make the team better in the playoffs. This move of trading Micah was for the playoffs.
Playoffs? These Dallas Cowboys? Jerry Jones?
Darius Taylor, JRich, 2026 class. 30 carries, 141, 4 catches, 36 yards, week 1.
That's a
good
grinder
player
right there.
Yeah, he's a big player, 6 foot, 215 pounds. So I saw Jason in the chat talking about it, that Darius Taylor looked really good last night. He absolutely did. But we do have college football starting this weekend. JRich, no game bigger than this one right here. Texas, Ohio State at 11 a.m. 11 a.m., JRich. The 11,
big noon kickoff, right?
The 11 a.m. Why? We got an over-under of 46. Should be the night game. Ohio State, are they really favored?
Yes, they are.
By 1.5 in this
Yes,
game.
they are.
Wow.
Yes, they are.
Ohio State favored by 1.5. Julian Sayin, the Alabama transplant, is going to start for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Well, he was supposed to go to Alabama. That was the big-time prize for the Crimson Tide. He's at Ohio State. Arch Manning, Ryan Wingo. We've got the running game back. Texas, this is setting the path. Jeremiah Smith. Jay, how excited are you for this one? And we have talked about this 2026 class, and we have not included Arch Manning in any of the conversations, right?
That's true.
No Arch Manning. All, at least the speculation is he ain't going nowhere. He's going to stay in college for another year. What does a game like this do for him? If he comes out there and performs well, all the mock drafts are going to have him as the number 1 overall projected pick in that post week 1 rookie mock draft. Arch Manning, what are your expectations for him? And unfortunately, we've got to watch Jeremiah Smith play a full season of college football and then another one before we get him to the NFL. So we'll kind of leave Jeremiah Smith to the side right now. Arch Manning is up next. What do you think this does for Arch, who I have not included in my top 10 quarterbacks?
I think it'll just depend on how he plays, right? If this offense plays well and they win the game, especially handily in Columbus, I think at that point you got to put him at maybe not number 1, but on your mock draft boards. Because the biggest thing was, it was his grandfather, Archie Manning, who said he doesn't believe that Arch is going to declare for the draft and stay at Texas for 2 seasons. But if they play as well as they are expected to play, they're the number 1 team in the country. If they run the table, Arch is definitely going in the top 5, if not number 1 overall. And at that point, he's probably going to declare. Now, the other side of it is, we don't know exactly what they're thinking, but I do think that at least for now, it depends on how well he plays first. The next thing that's going to matter is who has the number 1 pick. Yeah. Because if you're Arch and you're projected to go number 1, which if he plays well, he will be projected to go number 1 probably. Who is he going to be playing for? Who's his coach? And all that's going to probably matter, because he could stay at Texas and probably make another $5 million easy. And so the thing for me with Arch is, if he wins this game, he should be on every mock draft board, in my opinion, at number 1 or close to it.
Wow. And
then we'll go from there, right? If he loses the game, I think it's over. I think at that point, he might as well go back to college. Not that his season is over.
Come on, Jay.
But do you think he can overcome that? Maybe he can throughout a season. But if he comes out and he loses to Ohio State, to Julian Sayin, and you see the over-under total, it's what, 46 points?
46.5.
I got the under. I think this game's going to be awful to watch. If you like college, you like close games, you like the tension, then you'll enjoy it. But it's not going to be this barn burner, I don't think. Julian Sayin in his first start, he's probably going to be really nervous, even at home, right? Ray, I always go back because we were doing a show back then.
And this Texas defense is legit.
They're number 1 for a reason.
It is legit. Right? It is legit.
We know they lost some pieces, but they're number 1 for a reason. Sayin playing his first game, and it always takes me back to back when We talked about CJ Stroud, his first start in Minnesota, and how bad his first half was.
Oh, yeah, it was pretty. That first half was bad.
It was a half,
It
was against Minnesota. And then they put 300. I think Olave had 150 in the second half. Travion Henderson took his first catch, 75 yards as a true freshman. Like, it was a crazy game, but that's not going to happen against Texas. That's not going to happen for Julian. It's going to be a slog the whole time. So that's where, like, I'm not sure how I feel about Texas. I think Ohio State at home is definitely a big boost for them. I don't know if I would have them favored, but I get it. I think it's going to be a slog. I'd say it's probably like a 20-16 game, a gross game. One that if you love college football, you love close games, it'll be fun to watch. But if you're expecting a big performance from Jeremiah Smith, and then I don't even know the Texas receivers, honestly, because they lost so many guys, who that's going to be.
Big Wingo out there. Big Wingo. Big Wingo. Let's go.
Like Big Wingo. But I'm expecting a low-scoring game. But how do you feel about this matchup? Because it does seem like it's shaping up to be more defensive, at least for me.
I want to see Arch. I want to see Jeremiah Smith. I want to see Cornell Tate. I want to see Brandon Ennis. I want to see Caleb Downs. I want to watch Michael Tafty back there at safety. I want to watch Anthony Hill. I want to watch. I think this is going to be a good game. From a draft, there are some really good NFL draft prospects in this game.
Well, especially Anthony Hill.
Caleb Downs, maybe the best defensive player not named Peter Woods in the country. So everybody's tapped in at noon. Texas, Ohio State, let's get it. Some other names that I just want to point people to. You're probably not going to watch it, but Indiana, they take on Old Dominion at home. Indiana 20th in the country. Fernando Mendoza, Elijah Surratt, the wide receivers. Like it's Fernando Mendoza's debut. I know some people who have this guy at Indiana as QB1. They're favored by 24 points, so it should be a stat padding game for Fernando Mendoza. Jason, where's my boy Jason at? His boy Drew Aller in Penn State. They take on Nevada at 2:00. So, when you're talking about fantasy football and rookie drafts and why you got to pay attention and why we're going to talk through this, and I'll do college football, 26 draft recap stuff. You got two running backs, damn quarterback. There's receivers at Penn State. It's Katron Allen, it's Nicholas Singleton, it's Drew Aller. Like, that's who people want to see. Those three guys came back. There was a chance all three of them went to the draft last year. Remember, towards the playoffs, they're like, hey, Drew Aller is going to be, he could be the number one overall pick.
Yeah, there was a
Remember
lot
that?
of
There was a
Drew
little
Aller.
hype for a little bit. Katron Allen, Nicholas Singleton, the two top backs in Penn State. You just need to follow them and pay attention and watch that. You got Georgia and Marshall. The Carson Beck experience is over. Probably not going to be a game. We get to see Carson Beck on Sunday. Alabama, Florida State. You're going to have NFL draft prospects in that game. We've got Castiglionis, the Boston College quarterback, over at Florida State. Now we'll see how he does. Fun college quarterback. I don't know about NFL-wise, JRich. Oregon plays Montana State. Not going to be exciting in the matchup. Let me show it on there. Not going to be exciting. Oklahoma versus Illinois. Oklahoma's going to beat the brakes off of Illinois State.
Yeah.
All I care about is John Mateer. I want to see Deion Burks. I want to see the running game. I want to see the quarterback. John Mateer, my QB2. They brought in
the Wazoo running back too, didn't they?
Mm-hmm. This is my QB2. The Cal running back, Jaden Ott. Jaden Ott is over there.
Jaden Ott, okay.
Jaden Ott. John Mateer, my QB2, heading into this season. Really excited to see him. Got DJ Lagway in Florida playing. Texas A&M versus UTSA. I believe former number one overall quarterback Malachi Nelson is playing the starting quarterback for UTSA.
He's starting for UTSA, right?
Yeah, I believe he's starting. But the big game, you got SMU versus East Texas, Arizona State and Jordan Tyson versus Northern Arizona.
Guaranteed.
200 yards. It's LSU Clemson, JRich. It's LSU Clemson. This is the one.
Battle for Death Valley.
This is the 6 p.m. game. Number 4 versus number 9. Clemson, 4.5-point favors, 57.5 point total in this one, JRich. 57.5 points, which means it's going to be a high-scoring affair. You got Garrett Nussmeier, my QB1. Cade Klubnik, my QB3. Peter Woods. You've got the receivers. You got Tonio Williams, Aaron Anderson, Barrion Brown, Perkins, Weeks at linebacker for LSU. Talk about this matchup right here, because this is the one where you got to have your popcorn ready. Where you said that the early game could be a little bit of a drag, this one ain't dragging nothing.
Yeah, this one's going to deliver. And this is a game I would be looking definitely towards the over. But this game and this outcome, Ray, is going to entirely hinge on the shoulders of Garrett Nussmeier. Garrett Nussmeier is walking to a situation where he's going into Clemson, Death Valley, for the first game. What?
It's UTEP. He's at UTEP, not
UTEP.
UT. I know it's one of them UTEPs. Texas El Paso, Texas San Antonio. Nelson is at UTEP, not UTSA.
But yeah, so this game is going to hinge entirely, in my opinion, on Garrett Nussmeier. I think Cade Klubnik is going to be more than fine against this LSU defense, and it's going to determine whether or not they can weather the storm in Clemson at their home stadium, coming off of 5 straight losses opening week. And that's been talked about a lot. How is Garrett Nussmeier going to break the curse of the 5 straight losses on opening week for LSU? And I think the issue for me is the defense for Clemson is going to be so good this year with Avian Terrell. And you didn't mention TJ Parker, who is also another great edge rusher playing with Peter Woods on that defensive line. It's going to all come down to, do they have the weapons? Is the offensive line strong enough to keep Garrett Nussmeier upright for long enough to make big plays against this team? Because I think the rushing attack is still going to be strong for Clemson. I love Klubnik against this defense. I don't think the LSU defense is going to be strong enough to stop Klubnik and this offense. So it's going to come down entirely, in my opinion, to Nussmeier. So, Ray, do you think that your QB1 Nussbus has enough juice and has the team around him to go head-to-head with this Clemson defense and beat the Tigers?
I think this is, if you're talking about number one quarterback, you talk about Arch Manning beating Ohio State, setting him up to be the number 1 pick. This is the game right here. If Garrett Nussmeier goes into Death Valley and wins that game, right? They beats Clemson. It's hard for me.
It's more impressive. It's more impressive.
It's a lot more impressive. It's a lot, because everyone knows Ohio State's decimated defensive side of the ball. Like, everybody's speculating that Nussmeier beats that Clemson team. That's more impressive. And I also think if Cade Klubnik beats this LSU team, like that ain't no slouch on that. They're number 9 versus number 4. LSU is no slouch. It's not a bad SEC team. This is one of the top teams in the country. I think this will set the pathway for at least the big media talking like, oh, this is the top quarterback. You know, Nussmeier went in there, this defense with 5 potential first-round picks on it. He went in there and beat them. And if it's Klubnik, they'll be like, this is why. This experience, his playmaking ability, this is why Cade Klubnik is the top quarterback in the class. This is the game. You got Caden Durham playing. He's not draft eligible, but man, this young sophomore right here is a dog. So you get to see him in the game as well. This is going to be a good game. It's on ABC. I see people in the chat asking, what channel does it come on? ABC, 7:30 p.m., 6:30 p.m. Central Time, my time. So you got to be tapped into that. No doubt about it. And then Sunday, JRich, just going through the schedule. On Sunday is the Notre Dame versus Miami game. That's the big one on Sunday. You got South Carolina VTech first, and then Notre Dame, Miami. So you get Lenora Sellers. You're going to get Jeremiah Love. You're going to see Carson Beck. You're getting 3 big-time programs on Sunday as well. So it is legit college today, college on Saturday, college football on Sunday. And JRich, when we come back on Wednesday, because Monday, we're out, right? It is our holiday on Monday. So no show on Monday. But when we come back on Wednesday, we'll have one more sleep and we wake up and we're right back to the NFL season. We're prepping for Thursday night football, the Micah Parsons-less Dallas Cowboys versus the Philadelphia Eagles. So there'll be a lot to catch up on. I'm thinking about when I'm going to do the stream. Saturday night might be the time. It might be Saturday night after a lot of this stuff happens. Probably right after the, towards the end of the Clemson LSU game. I'll probably go live right here on the channel. So pull up, be here. JRich, anything you want to say, people, before we get out of here, man?
No, I appreciate everyone tapping in, man. This was a fun show.
We got a couple of super chats, too.
A somber note.
Yeah.
But we're here. We're here.
Right, we got a
good show.
Couple of super chats I want to hit real quick. Fredo, appreciate you, big dog. People are acting like first rounders are automatic. Yeah, that's in response to, they got first round picks. I have not been Dallas's last few first rounders. You know,
not good. We'll
see Tyler Guyton. We'll see Mozzie Smith. They took Tyler Booker this year. We'll see. Another one from Tyler Sperry. Jones basically traded the Packers Rashee White.
That's bold. That's bold.
Tyler, appreciate the super chat. I'm not going to go that far, but they traded him a very, very, very talented edge rusher. Not going to go Rashee White. Fredo came back. Appreciate you, Fredo, man. You are Superman over here, man. Super fan of the show, for real. A lot of Cowboys fans will lose their kids to teams like the Chiefs, the Texans, or whatever team ends up with Arch if he's a stud. Jerry lost a generation of fans because he wants to play genius. My kids love Red Kingdom. They love that Patrick Mahomes, JRich. Love him. Love that Mahomes. Love that Kansas City. Loves the Patrick Mahomes, JRich. And then we got one more from JR. There it is. Appreciate you. With MVS gone, Mark has a big cut that we didn't talk about. MVS out of the way. Yeah. Would you trade Scataboo for Tory Horton and a third? Or maybe straight up PPR Dynasty Superflex? Nah.
No.
And I'm not even the biggest
Tory
Scat
Horton's
Pack
a good
fan.
story, but I don't care, man. When Scataboo scores a touchdown, this guy's value is going through the roof.
Skyrocket, man. People are going to go crazy over that Scataboo. So I wouldn't do it, man. I would Scataboo and Horton in a third. No, I would just keep Scataboo. I would keep Scataboo. I'd keep Scataboo. All right.
Yeah.
It was a good
Anything
summer.
Else you see last night, right?
Nah, I'm just going through the chat. Joe, thank you, my girl. Said it was a good summer. Thanks, Ray and Jay. Yeah, like it's over. Like we're into the season. Yeah. So everything that we discuss here is no longer hypothetical. It's going to be, we got real football action, college, all of that. Please check out the college football content on the channel. Top 10 wide receivers dropped yesterday amidst all the chaos in Dallas. And then the running backs are up. The quarterbacks are up. So just check out the content on the channel. Rashee White was better. Yes, Stanley. Rashee White was way better. Rashee White, we're not gonna. Yeah, Stanley, it's time to draft, baby. It's time to draft. Let's go. Rolling with Johnny. Check out all the content on DDFFB. The crew over there are doing a great job. Joe, we only have one more off season. Wake up. Yep, one more on Wednesday, but it'd be a fun show. JRich and I would maybe some bold predictions and some bold takes on that show. But we're gonna roll a little thing before the outro for our partner, Dynasty Daddy. Make sure you check out all things and resources over on dynasty-daddy.com. JRich and I will be here Wednesday morning, 9:30 a.m. Wake y'all asses up. We appreciate y'all being here. Much love. The vibes are bad, JRich. Me and the wife are going to go see Weapons right now. We're going to go to the cinema, get my mind off of it. Much love. Appreciate y'all. We are out. Peace.